But I love the bigs because I like to be on TV, and I have a odd look about me, and I generally get on TV. So I'll go somewhere when I was traveling back in the day, and I'd tell the wife, I'm like, well, I'm at the O's stadium, and look for me. I'll be in section 7. She'll watch the game, and sure enough, sooner or later they'll zoom right in on me because I'm doing something stupid. Didn't fall down or anything. I love going to the bigs.
I
I've been to probably 30 stadiums. My niece went to all of them, I think, or tried to.
I would love to do that.
Yeah.
I've been to quite a few. Fenway,
Fenway twice.
Camden Yards,
Camden, I'm regular there.
RFK, Nats Park,
Twice. Both the RFKs.
Yankee Stadium.
Yep.
Uh, the hell, where are the? I'm blanking on it all of a sudden. I went to a home Cubs game and a home White Sox game,
Yeah, I've
and
not been
those
to,
are two very different
I've
dynamics.
been to the Cubs. I've never made the White Sox.
And it was a night game too. If you don't know this, there are where the Cubs play is a fairly nice area in Chicago, where the White Sox play not
That's
so
probably
nice.
why I didn't go. But I
Night
haven't,
game, and
yeah, I haven't
never
made
felt
that.
more unsafe.
So Brooklyn, that I ended up in Spanish Harlem on my way there. I drove, which was stupid. I've learned later. But anyway, yeah, I made it. But yeah, that's an interesting stadium. They had really good beer there. That was a great stadium, I have to say. Let's see what
Done
else.
PNC,
Yeah, I've done PNC.
Tropicana.
I've done that.
Done quite a few. I should like eventually sit down and write these and get a tally. Man, I love baseball.
Yeah. Like I say, I like to go to, I've hardly watched the game, but I do. But and I get really cheap seats and really expensive beer. That's what I like about them.
The wife keeps score.
Oh,
She
really?
loves going to. She'll sit
Yeah.
there and keep score.
People that keep score. I've always, I can't. I've been a scorekeeper for like T-ball or whatever over the years, but yeah, I'm not that guy. I had a boss when I was at Howard Johnson's, and we would go to hockey games, and he would keep score. He'd keep all the stats. He had a little pad. That your wife has.
Yes, that's what we used to do. Is before we had kids. Now you can't. You got to track the kids. You
Well,
can't
pretty
keep
soon
score
the
at the same
kids will be
time.
playing. You have to track the
We'll be
kids.
ready.
Means you'll be watching the other two while the one's getting tracked.
This is true.
I'll come be umpire. I was, yeah, I lived in a little town, Fincastle, for a long time, and one day I used to walk or jog around town, ride my bike, whatever. I think I was riding my bike one day, and I come up and there's a ball game going on, little league, and I pull up behind, and the umpire Eugene, I knew him. I was like, "Hey, man," he's like, "Hey." So when watching the game, I'm just sitting there on my bike, kind of behind the cage, and the kid throws a pitch, and it's like pretty close. It was a close call, and he goes strike, and the coach jumps up and starts yelling and screaming and walking down the line. The umpire says, "You need to sit down." So he goes back, and the next pitch comes in, hits the dirt in front of the plate, and he goes, "Strike."
Nope.
And then this guy just jumps up off the bench. He comes running down there again. And the umpire says, really, you've got no business here. We're doing what we're doing. And he guy walks out, and then like the other coach came out, and they talked, and Eugene turns around to me and goes, "This isn't going to get any better." The next pitch was like over the guy's head. He's like, "You're out." And I thought, oh my gosh. So here's the rule. Don't mess with the umpire.
No, because
Do
the
not. The
final
first
call.
call was close.
And in little league, there's no like,
Yeah.
there's no camera review. There's no one like
No.
at the head office. Like,
Okay, my worst case scenario was coach pitched softball with the girls. I was the coach. I would
ah,
hit them more than I would throw it in the strike
take
zone.
your base.
I would go to the other. No, they can't. If you're the coach, they don't get to take their bait. They had to take a whipping. I was like throwing the balls right on their head. Oh, it's
I
horrible.
never, I never was in a situation with coach pitch, but like,
Oh,
what if that was like,
it's terrible.
just keep beating your
Yeah,
batters?
they
Yeah,
hated me.
we got 20 runs. Yeah, how many of those
That's
were
not true. They
HBP?
love me. The girls love me, but You know, 'cause I'm a laid back coach, but I was like, I could not pitch.
I
It's
never
Mr. Coach. I'm like,
thought
you got to
about that.
pitch today. You're like, I'm not pitching. That's what happens when you pitch.
That's horrifying.
It
Yeah.
was. It was
That's so
terrible.
much pressure.
Yeah.
Why are you crying?
Yeah. I was crying.
There's no crying in baseball.
No, there is when the coach hits you with the ball right in the head, right in the forehead.
You
Boom.
know, you always hear the stories of like coaches who are like abusive intentionally.
Yeah.
They
I
never
was
talk.
abusive
They
unintentionally.
never talk about the accidental abuse.
I was doing the best I could under
They
the
put
circumstances.
me in coach pitch. My dad had no depth perception. I have 4 concussions that season.
And I'm left-handed to begin with, you know.
I was already set up for failure. I did, yeah, I did know you were a southpaw. That does make it harder.
Oh man. Yeah. But anyway, we digress from this weird beer we're drinking.
Might be the best part of my day right now is the
The,
coach pitch.
there's probably film in 11 somewhere.
We gotta find tape of that.
Yeah. I'm about to send a bunch of tapes off to get digitized. I think I did it once. I think I'm gonna do it again because I can't find the ones I had it done once.
Mm.
It's like $10 a tape, I think. I don't know. Who knows? It's like everything else. Complicated.
All right, so we should probably rate these beers and go
Move
about
on.
move on. Enjoy our the sun's still being up.
Soccer. I was good at soccer coaching. I didn't have to kick the ball.
Guys, just run.
So it was like,
One goal will be fine.
no. The thing in soccer, the rule that the coach's nemesis is, what do you do with your hands? We don't touch the ball. Okay. What if the ball's coming right at your face and it hits your face because you can't put your hands up? Okay.
Hands down.
Understand this. But I had a girl that could kick the ball almost the length of the field. So we had a play called Katie Kicks a Goal. And a couple girls would take the ball up the field till they got to about 3/4. And all the defense came in. They would kick the ball back to Katie at the 50-yard line. She would slam it into the goal. And there's nothing they could do about it.
Katie
And,
kicks a goal.
and they would be like, it'd be like 3-2. And everybody's like, Katie kicks a goal. I said, no, not unless they tie. We're not going to be mean about it. But if we need it, Katie will kick a goal. It's okay.
Katie's there. We've got that fail
We've
safe.
got Katie, and she can do it.
So how is your West Coast Pilsner?
Interesting. I guess West Coast means not as good as the East Coast.
I feel like we found that to be the
Did I
case.
say that? I said that.
Because the other week we had the West Coast IPA that was just not
I'm going to say
great.
it's just, I'd like to say why I don't like this.
But you can't pinpoint it?
I cannot pinpoint it. I'm going to give it, there's something wrong with this beer. I'm going to give it a 3.75. They tried, but I don't know what West Coast means. Maybe I need to research that. Not a great Pilsner.
I'm sure you already know exactly where I'm going to go with this, with the Two Pitchers Brewing Radler Lager with grapefruit and hint of blood orange, 5.1% ABV, which is
like
high
it.
for a Radler. And I do
You
enjoy
love it.
Radlers. This is really delicious. This would
I
be
knew
a
it would
perfect
be.
like going down the river beer. I'm gonna give this a 4.75. This is
I thought
damn
you would.
tasty. Two Pitchers Brewing Radler Lager with grapefruit and a hint of blood orange. If you can find it, I recommend you try it. Also, I would go ahead and say that Toppling Goliath Brewing Dorothy's New World Lager from the first round. I highly recommend that as well. What's your thought on that one?
Oh, I thought that was very delicious.
Unfiltered,
Unfiltered.
absolutely
That was
phenomenal.
a yummy beer. I'd give it a 4.5.
Well, that's gonna do it for another edition of
There
Brewsday
you go.
Tuesday. We gotta get off here and figure out what we're doing next week. Huck, thank you so very much.
Thank you for having me.
See you in a week.